Good day friends, welcome to the lecture series on fixed income securities in the subject of fundamental of investment. Friends, in this lecture I will be talking about credit rating. See, what is credit rating, what are the credit rating agencies, what is their role and what are the benefits of credit rating. This is the subject of discussion in today's lecture. You have heard many times while you are assessing the different bonds, especially I'm focusing on bond in this lecture, the debt instruments, that these are highly rated bonds. These are, you must have heard this term, AAA rated bonds, AA rated bonds, A, B minus, minus B, B. And these are the various ratings which are being given by different agencies to different bonds. The question is, what does this mean? What is this credit rating means and how it affects the investor, how it affects the corporates, how it affects the investors class, right? So it is an independent opinion of a credit rating agency regarding the relative ability, this is important friends, relative ability of a debt instrument to fulfill the debt obligation in respect of interest and repayment as and when they arises. Friends, I as an investor want to invest in a particular bond or want to invest in fixed deposit or want to invest in a commercial paper. Say, I would like to know the credit worthiness of that company which is issuing this debt instrument, which is issuing the fixed deposit, which is issuing the bond or which is issuing the commercial paper. The question before me is that should I invest in this bond? Should I deposit this money in the fixed deposit in a company which is giving me a relatively higher rate of interest as compared to the bank interest? How I'll judge this company? Because there are plethora of information which are required for judging the credit ability of the company. That is, whether this company is worth to give credit, means whether to give money or not, right? So this is the question before me. So whether my question before me is the question that arises in my mind, whether this company will be able to repay the interest amount or pay the interest amount as per the scheduled time. Will it be able to repay my money in time? Suppose I make an FD in a company and the time of the duration of the FD is 5 years. So after 5 years, will it be in a position to repay the money? And during these 5 years, the interest which the company has promised, whether it will be able to pay this interest in time or not. These are the questions, these are the bigger questions which are before me. So these credit rating agencies helps in sorting out this dilemma among the investor by rating the different instruments, by rating the different debt instruments. So basically this credit rating is an opinion by the agencies, by the different credit agencies which rate a debt instruments, that whether they will able to pay its interest and repayment by assessing the different abilities of the company. I will be talking of what are these abilities, right? So SEBI, which is our regulator of financial markets, so Securities and Exchange Board of India, so Credit Rating Agencies Regulation Act 1999 defines credit rating agency as a body corporate which is engaged in or proposes to engage in a business of rating of securities offered by way of public or right issue. Means those companies which offers securities, debt instruments to the public, right? These rating agencies rate them, right, on the basis of their credit worthiness. So rating as an opinion regarding the securities expressed in the form of standard symbols or in any other standardized manner assigned by credit rating agency and used by the issuer of such securities. As I was saying in the beginning of the lecture, you would like to invest in a bond which is having AAA. What is this AAA? AAA are being considered as a highly secured, highly rated securities. right? So these AAA, AA, these are the standardized symbols of ratings, right? So it is an assessment of the credit quality and investment quality of a debt instruments. Means this credit rating is nothing but the quality which judges the quality of the investment or the debt instruments. So the rating measures are the probability of the issuer defaulting on payment of interest and or principal during the life of the bond. Higher is the rating, safer it is for the investor. And lower is the rating, it means the higher is the risk involved in the investment in the debt instruments. So the rating is expressed in alphabetically or alphanumerically, means A1, A2, A3. It can be like this, or it can be like A, AA, AAA. As I said, AAA is considered the most safe, right? So these are alphabetically or it may be alphanumerically symbols. Different rating agencies uses different standardized symbols, right? So the lower the rating, the higher is the risk of the investor. Most commonly rated instruments are bonds, debentures, commercial papers, bank loans, mutual funds and fixed deposits, right? Normally the fixed income securities, they are the most commonly rated instruments. So what is the credit? This is very important to understand. What is the methodology of credit rating? How do the credit rating agencies, rate a company, rate an instrument? When I say rate a company, it means the instrument that is being issued by the company. Suppose a company issues the bond. So you are evaluating the credit rating agency evaluates the bond on the basis of the credit worthiness of that company. So a general criteria to evaluate the credit worthiness associated with a particular security and issuer includes analysis of the following parameters. See, there is no exhaustive list on the basis of which I can say that these credit rating agencies should rate an instrument. But broadly, these are the factors which are being considered, which are being considered by the rating agencies when they rate a particular debt instrument or when they rate a fixed income security. The first is the business risk. So whenever an investor invests in a bond or invest in a fixed deposit of a company, there are different types of business risk, or a company faces different types of business risk. Higher is the risk, business risk, higher is the risk involved in making an investment in that bond, right? Because the risk of the company increases as the business risk increases. What are the different types of business risk? Like say economic risk. Economic risk means these are risks associated with macro factors. Supposing the rate of interest in the market goes up, then obviously the company will find itself in a difficult situation. Company will have to pay higher rate of interest on its debt on which has already been raised in the past. Suppose there is an economic cycle, every business operates in a cyclical manner, so economy comes into, suppose the whole of the economy comes into the recession. So if economy comes into the recession, obviously it will make an impact on the company also. Whatever the nature of the company may be, the different companies will be affected differently, but every company will be affected by to some extent. Some may be affected at a higher extent, some may be affected by at a lower extent, depending on the type of business which you are doing. But anyway, company will be affected. So these are called economic risk. Industry risk. You are not working in isolation. You are operating in an industry. Suppose I say pharma industry, IT industry. When the value of the rupee changes vis-a-vis dollar, the risk of the industry also changes. When the dollar increases, because by and large in India, for example, if I take the Indian IT services company, by and large they are the exporters. Most of their incomes comes by way of exports. When the value of rupee increases, the value of the dollar increases, sorry, not rupee increases, when the dollar value of the dollar increases and value of rupee decreases, it is a benefit to the IT services industry because they get their income in dollar terms. So as the dollar appreciates, their real income increases, and vice versa. Suppose the value of the rupee increases, that the value of the dollar decreases. In that case, the loss to the company, or I will say the profit, degree of the profit will fall. So there is a industry risk. That there are different types of industry risk involved. In every business there is an industry risk. If suppose there is a industrial slowdown, right? So slowdown in not only in a company but slowdown in the whole of the industry. Suppose the steel industry, sugar industry, cement industry, these are all called cyclical industries. So they fluctuates. When the industry is booming, company will also progress well. If the industry is in a recessionary stage, so obviously the company will also be affected. So it is all called business risk. Similarly, issuer's competitive position. A particular company competitive position may becomes weaker or may become stronger, right? So if it becomes stronger, then it is a good for the company. If its competitive position falls, suppose after the advent of Jio in the market, right? So many of the companies which used to provide cell services, mobile services, right? Other companies, they are being affected. Their competitive position becomes relatively weak, right? So the business risk increases. New project risk. Supposing a business starts a new project, so there is a lot of risk whether the project will be successful or not, project will not be successful, right? So this is called new project risk. So these are the various business risks which a credit rating agency has to keep in mind while rating an instrument. The other is financial risk. Operating profitability. What is the profitability? What is the EBIT, earning before interest and tax? What is the percentage of EBIT of its sales? So what is the operating profitability of the company as the sales increases? To what extent? What will be the degree of operating profits that will increase, and so on and so forth. Gearing. To what extent the leveraged money, I mean the debt money has been used in financing the business. Debt service coverage ratio means the profits of the company is how many times that of its fixed interest liability, right? So higher is the profitability of the company, that of its debt servicing. Suppose a company has raised a debt of 1000 crore rupees on which it has to pay 100 crore rupees interest annually. So what is the income of the company? I mean, what is the ratio of the debt service, that is the interest outgo, and the profitability? So higher is the profitability, that of its fixed interest liability, better it is. So we call it debt service coverage ratio. Working capital intensity, right? So what is the extent, what is the working capital situation in the company? Cash flow analysis. There are certain companies which are cash flow rich companies, they are getting a regular cash flow, they are less risky as compared to a company where net cash flow, that is the cash outgo and the cash inflow, right? So net cash flow is negative, they are risky companies. The companies which are net cash flow positive, they are less risky companies. So these are various financial risks on the basis of which it values the company. Other than this, foreign currency related risk, as the suppose you're a large exporter, most of your income comes by way of exports. In that case, as the dollar fluctuates, your risk also increases, right? Accounting quality. What is the quality of the accounting system that is being adopted by the company? Contingent liabilities. Liabilities that may arise in future, that is called contingent liability. Financial flexibility, financial ratios. So these are the various factors which are being considered while judging the financial risk of a company, right? So these are the various factors for financial risk. Similarly, strength of the promoters or management quality. Friends, these days a lot is being focused on the quality of management, corporate governance. What is the background of the promoters? What is the background of the people who are running the affairs of the company, right? What is their quality? What is the quality of the board? To what extent the transparency is being used by the board, right? So the quality of the promoter is a very, very important factor for judging the quality of the company, for judging the credit worthiness of the company. What the credit agencies are doing, basically they are judging the credit worthiness of the company, and credit worthiness of the company is also being judged by the people who are at the helm of the affairs in the board, as a promoter, right? As a top officials of the company. What has been their track record? What is the strategy of the promoters? What is their organizational structure, right? So organizational structure means whether it is a closely held company, loosely held company, managed by the professionals or managed by a few individuals. What is the level of corporate governance? I mean, these days corporate governance has become a very, very important subject, that what is the quality of the corporate governance. If the quality of the corporate governance is good, certainly the companies are less risky. Where the quality of governance is in question, certainly the public or the rating agencies do not rate such companies as a highly rated companies. Control system, personal policies of the promoters and the directors and the boards of the company. So these are the strength and promoters of the management quality. Right. So on these bases, very bases, that is on the basis of financial strength, on the basis of the strength of the promoters, on the basis of business risk, these credit agencies rate the company. Right. So what are the benefits of the credit rating? These are the methodology. Methodology means on the basis of these various factors, the rating agencies rate a company. If the financial risk is less, corporate governance is high, if the company is a highly profit-making company, certainly the rating agencies will rate them highly, and vice versa. So what are the benefits of credit rating? Right? Credit rating plays a pivotal role in today's economy. It is beneficial to both the investors and the company. As in the beginning of this lecture I said, suppose I want to invest in a particular bond, right? I want to invest, say, 1 lakh rupees. I do not have that competence, I do not have that expertise to rate a company, to see whether this company is worth giving 1 lakh rupees or not. What is the instrument that is available to me? What I will do is, I will see what is the credit rating which has been assigned to this company by the reputed credit agencies. I will be talking of credit agencies like ICRA, CRISIL. There are various credit agencies which are being approved by Security Exchange Board of India, that is our regulator, and they are having reputation in the market that they rate the instruments properly. Means their rating can be dependent. So by seeing the rating of the debt instrument, by seeing the rating of the bond, I will be assuring myself whether to invest or not to issue. Suppose the moment I see it is a AAA rated bond. AAA rated means highest safety. AAA is being assigned to such companies which have a high degree of safety. So I'll have immediately I'll get a required confidence in me that if I want to invest 1 lakh rupees, this 1 lakh rupees which I am investing in the bond of a company, this is safe investment. Means safe, when you will say it is a safe investment, safe in the sense I'll get my interest income in time, and at the time of maturity, given the present scenario of the company and expected scenario of the company, this company in all likelihood able to pay me my maturity value properly in time, right? So this is the biggest benefit I'll get. I'll not have to go to the balance sheet, the plethora of the information which are required to rate a company or to judge whether I should invest or not. I'll immediately see what has been the rating that has been assigned by the credit rating agency, and on the basis of that I can make a fair judgment about the credit worthiness of the company. So investment decision making. So credit rating helps the investor in making the investment decision. It gives an idea to the investor about the credibility of a company and also help the investor to assess the risk level of a particular instrument. Supposing I am ready to take high degree of risk for a high rate of interest. So I would like to invest which is less rated, like say for instead of AAA, I can go for the company which is simply a double A or A, right? So as the rating comes down, the rate of interest which the company offers increases. So those investors who are ready to take high degree of risk, when I am saying high degree of risk, means the default risk is high, right? In those companies which are lowly rated, right? So it is a benefit to those investors who are risk seekers, who are ready to take high degree of risk for a higher rate of interest. They may go for an instrument which is a low rated instrument. But those investors who are risk averse, who are not ready to take high degree of, they should invest in a bond, invest in the FDs where the instruments are highly rated. So investment decision making becomes easier by the rating agencies. Provide safety. If the credit rating of a company is high, then it gives an assurance of safety to the investor related to their investment. Saves time and effort. Credit rating helps the investor to take the investment decision quickly, because I don't have to search the balance sheet. I don't have to see the profit and loss account. I don't have to see the cash flow statement of the company. I don't have to judge the quality of the management. I'll just see what is the rating that is being assigned by the rating agency. So it will save my time and efforts, right? So credit rating helps the investor to make the investment decision quickly by depending upon the ratings which are being done by the professional credit rating agency. The investor need not waste his time and the effort in gathering and analyzing the financial information about the credit standing of the company. Professional expertise. Another benefit to the investor is that you get benefit of the howsoever smart you may be, but it is not your job to rate, to judge to read the balance sheet, to read the income statements, the quality of the management, and to judge the business risk. So there are professionals for this job. The professionals' expertise will be benefited by ratings, right? So credit rating is generally done by professionals having the expert knowledge. The investor can easily rely on such rating and make an investment decision without fear in their future. Friends, it doesn't mean that rating agency cannot fail. These rating agency can also fail. Supposing there are some unforeseen circumstances, nobody had thought that COVID will come to the world, right? The COVID pandemic will disturb the whole economy and the world. So because of this is unforeseen situations. These unforeseen situations arises sometime. This disturbs even the finest of the fine rating agencies. When they rate a company, this can be disturbed. But whatever you can foresee, and by foreseeing by these professional experts, judge a company. So we can get the benefit of professional expertise. So apart from benefit to the investor, the credit rating is benefit to the companies also. So lower cost of borrowing. If the company is being assigned high rating by the credit rating agencies, then the lower cost, borrowing cost will come down. If the rating agencies rate a company, lowly, certainly the cost of borrowing to the company will go up. If you have many times Standard & Poor, Fitch, there are international rating agencies which rate a country also. The way the companies are being rated, the nations are also being rated on the basis of various factors on basis of which the companies are being rated. So if the rating agencies rates a company, increases its rating, certainly the international cost of borrowing decreases, and vice versa. So every country, every company wants that its rating should go up in the market, right? So if the rating is high, the cost of borrowing to the company will be lower. So companies that have a high credit rating for their debt instruments will get the funds at a lower cost from the market. High rating will enable the company to offer low interest rate on fixed deposit, debentures, and other debt securities. So investor will accept low interest rate because they prefer low risk instruments. Wider audience for borrowing, right? So as the rating increases, there are large number of investors who would like to invest in such company. So a company with a high rating for instruments can get a wider audience for borrowing. It can approach financial institutions, banks, investing companies. So credit rating are easily understood not only by the financial institutions and banks, but also by the general public. Helps in growth and expansion. So this credit rating helps the companies in growth, because how it helps the growth? Because if a company is rated high, obviously it's easy for the company to get the money from the market. And for expansion purpose, for growth purpose, every company needs money, right? So for raising money, if the company is being rated high, it can easily raise the money and can raise the money easily, but also at a lower rate of interest. So it will help the company in expansion and growth. So credit rating enables a company to grow and expand, because better credit rating will enable a company to get financial easily for growth and expansion. Improves corporate image. There is a direct relationship between high rating of the company and corporate image. If the company is being rated highly by the credit rating agencies, the image of the company also increases. I've been telling you in this lecture that AAA rated companies are considered the most safe, most reliable companies to invest in. So the moment the companies are being rated AAA, the debt instrument of a company is being rated as AAA, the image of the company increases, right? And vice versa. So if they are being rated low, the image of the company decreases, comes down, falls. So credit rating helps to improve the corporate images of the company. High credit rating creates confidence and trust in the minds of the investors about the company. Therefore, the company enjoys a good corporate image in the market. So friends, after talking of the advantages to the investors in the company, let me just telling you there are different credit rating agencies which are operating in India. In India, credit rating standards in 1987, when Credit Rating Information Service of India, CRISIL, was incorporated. So there are various companies, CRISIL, ICRA. Normally these companies are being called in a short name: CRISIL, ICRA, CARE, Brickwork Rating India Private Limited, Acquite Rating and Research Information Limited, and the India Rating and Research Private Limited. So these are the various almost 7 major credit rating agencies which are operating in India. ICRA, CRISIL, CARE. These are well established old credit rating agency. I don't mean that other credit rating agencies are not reliable, but these are broadly 7 companies which are operating in India and which are working well, and they have a reputation in the market. So these credit rating agencies rate the different debt instruments. Thank you very much for today.